This is my very first attempt at an HFY entry, all errors and mistakes are mine and mine alone. I hope you enjoy it. The dropship settled into the forest canopy, easing down on softly hissing jets. Passive sensors had already cleared the area, 2 kilometers from the slavers' camp. Scanning his orders again, the platoon commander tapped his helmet twice, pointing at the loadmaster who immediately dropped the ramp to the ground. In synchrony, 3 ground skimmers exited the craft, followed by 4 squads moving silently but rapidly. 8 minutes later, they were within sight of the slavers' camp, dropping to kneeling position, weapons ready. The 2 skimmers followed on anti-grav, taking position behind them. All orders were given in sign language. Squads 1 and 2, take point. 3 and 4, in echelon. Go. In unison the soldiers fanned out, exactly as rehearsed and planned. The skimmers then shut down their engines, leaving thrusters on idle. The mission was simple and specific. A group of reptiloid had raided a settlement, taking Usaiu children as slaves and killing everyone else. One of those taken was the granddaughter of an ambassador. No prisoners. Gather intel if possible, but the children are the priority. Get in, get the children, get out. Forward scouts slipped back, sketching a quick map of the slavers' camp. 16 in total. 4 guards on a parapet. 2 on overwatch above them. The rest were inside either on watch or asleep. No heavy weapons. The officer smiled toothily. Excellent. Maybe they'd gotten careless or assumed no one knew they were there. No matter. They'd be too dead to care. Squad 1, the parapet. Squad 2, overwatch. Go. It was very dark, the planetoid these slavers had chosen for their base far from the solitary moon orbiting this system. Another smile. Arrogant and stupid. 4 soldiers slipped under the brush, busy hands assembling their weapon, a small pipe with an air capsule attached. Taking aim, the lead NCO fired twice, changed aim, fired again. The projectile was a small capsule that broke open on impact. Its payload was a toxin engineered for the gun, bringing instant paralysis. They fell silently, the squad moving inside and quickly dispatching them with molecular blades. They then froze, listening for any sign they'd been detected. One quick glance above told them Squad 2 had done the same. Clear. As a team they sprinted inside, falling on the patrolling guards like silent rabid harpies. One by one, the inside guards were neutralized. One guard came from beside one of the small huts, its eyes widening. An arm snaked over, clamped one hand over the reptile's muzzle whilst the other hand brutally slit its throat in a single movement. The body was then dragged to the far side of the campsite, laid down next to the rest. Squad 2's lead flashed an IR beacon at his NCO, pointing to a makeshift hut, holding up 3 fingers and miming sleep. He then motioned for the others to step back, yanked the door open, tossed in a modified cyanide gas capsule and closed the door. 10 seconds later, masked, he opened the door again. Clear. The platoon leader came up, looked left and right, nodded in satisfaction. 6 minutes. Phase 2, move inside one of the prisoner huts. 5 children, sleeping, 2 wounded. One of them woke up and started to scream, but a massive hand clamped down on his beak, the other hand open in a stop signal. Reaching into a pocket, he displayed an insignia he had been given, the seal of the ASIO Armed Forces. The child froze, looking up at the black-clad giant. Lifting him onto his feet, the soldier pointed to the door, used 2 fingers in a walking movement where another in black armor waited. The child didn't need to be told twice and bolted. As he exited the door, another soldier beckoned him, his gestures urgent. This way, quickly. A small parade of ASIO children were chivied or carried out the gate, their feet the only sound outside the forest nightlife. Squad 2's corporal kept count, glancing behind him and nodding, then did a double take. Wait. Count was too short. 30 were reported missing, only 28 had passed him. He looked inside, took a few steps, his eyes falling on a small campfire, with bones protruding. Bastards! Shaking with rage and grief, he failed to see the platoon CO coming up on him. His head rang with sudden pain as the CO backslapped his head. There will be time for that later, Nike. The mission comes first. Is that all of them? He asked sharply. Yes, sir. Then get outside, trail the children and make sure they get to the skimmers. We will talk later. Go. As the NCO moved into the brush, the platoon leader reached into a pocket, pulling out a unit patch. Walking to where the bodies had been lined up neatly, he knelt, laid down the unit patch, then slammed his personal blade hilt deep into the corpse, pinning the patch to it. A small pocket computer caught his eye. He stuffed it into a pouch, moving to follow his team. 10 minutes later, the skimmers, carrying both the rescued children and the platoon, slid onto the dropship loading ramp. As the children were belted into their seats, the lieutenant checked his watch. 23 minutes from mission start, planetary dawn was in an hour, by which time they'd be long gone. As they reached the warp gate, the dropship sent its one and only signal. To Central Command on Venia 4, Taskforce Victoria sends, bayonet, repeat bayonet dawn, 1 day later. Slavemaster's Kovac was incandescent with rage, roaring and spitting bile as he viewed the neat line of corpses. Cursing the gods, he stormed about the camp, bellowing vengeance as he ripped furniture apart, screaming in frustration. His shuttle pilot walked over to him, carrying a curved, blood-smeared knife and a small cloth object. "Slavemaster! What do you want?" he screamed, kicking at a corpse in helpless rage. "We've lost a year's profits." "Who did this?" "WHO did this?" The pilot spoke, wary of his superior's tendency to consume people who made him angry. "What's a Gurkha?"